Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. I am indeed recording this on Monday, but I just got these today and I'm excited to get them out and try them. And this was what I was hoping I could do one of my Wednesday videos on, so I'm really glad this came in. Before we get started, quick disclaimer, obviously I am filming outside on my cell phone. I apologize for any shakiness of the camera. The mount it's on is kind of wobbly. The table's kind of wobbly. I do also apologize for any random outside noises like the screaming cicadas, which I believe that's what that is right now. They're building a house across the street, loud trucks come by. I had to film this outside because these are so big. My regular desk camera, I couldn't get it high enough on its current mount in order to show you all of this. So just a disclaimer there and a heads up, you know, sorry about all that. Plus you're going to see through the table, you're going to see my legs probably underneath the table, but hopefully showing a little ankle doesn't cause anybody to, you know, or a knee cause anybody to faint. So I hope not. Anyway, all right, so this is not coloring. I would still put this in crafting, maybe in the lazy. I would put this in like healthy coping mechanisms, lazy crafting category. There we go. Not sure. That's a pretty long explanation for a category. You know how you get those little scratch off lottery cards and like it's really satisfying to scratch with the coin or whatever you use, and like, I mean, it's really satisfying if you win, of course, but just the method of scratching is kind of soothing in a way. I have been seeing some companies, now you're gonna see me wave my hands around a bit, I've seen some companies have scratch pads and some limited scratch paintings or scratch pictures, but I haven't seen a lot until I saw this. And is one of the few ads that comes across social media that I actually had an interest in. Shocking. So I took a chance and ordered it. This is actually from Craftology. It does have a website up here, but when I Google that, it takes the first result Scratch Craftology. So I think they've renamed it and they just haven't had a chance to rename their materials yet. So no big deal, but now if you put in that address, I don't know what you get, but you probably bet you get redirected to their site. So anyway, Scratch Craftology, I'm going to talk a little bit about them and the process while I'm working on one of these. That way you guys don't have to sit here and just stare at these while I talk for 10 minutes. Like I never do that. But these are full-size pictures, and basically they're just grayed out areas. You scratch off the gray areas and you get hopefully this type of result. And you just use the little scratch, loud trucks. Use a little scratcher they provide. They do have additional kits, which I did get one of those as well. They have all kinds of pictures. Of course I got the ones with cats, and what I feel like should be the slogan for the crafting world and the coloring world: why buy one when you can buy many, right? That's what discounts are for. So there was a discount, so instead of just getting one, I got 3 because I figured why not. So because this was a thing I knew I wanted to show you guys and share with you guys. Again, not coloring, but I know some of you who use coloring and crafting for anxiety and coping mechanisms and stuff, this might be something else you'd like to do. So I did get 3. We've got this little kitty with a butterfly. We have this pair playing with more butterflies. And then we've got this cute little mama cat and her kitten. And these are gigantic pictures. I wish I had a regular size coloring book out here for reference. I'm trying to see if they say on them. It says 405 by 285 millimeter. Now it's it's a lot bigger than 8.5 by 11, which is again why I had to do this part. Let's do, because I haven't even opened these. I just got these today. So let's do, let's go ahead and do this one because it's got the extra pack I bought as well. So they do offer other things on their site. Your kit typically just comes with these little bamboo scratchers, but I did buy the extra kit that's got some of the, I guess, different tools you can use to scratch. So we're going to crack this open. We're going to get started, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about the company and stuff while I'm doing it. And that way you guys don't have to sit here and stare at nothing for 10 minutes. So yeah, here's the extra pack, which they must have just included. I'm going to look at that in a minute. Normally though, what you get is the pre-printed scratch board, you get a blank scratch board, and then you get a bamboo scratch tool. But I actually got more than one. Is that the case with all of them? Oh no, they included all 3 in one instead of having to put them in the individual packs. Okay, I see what they did. So typically you get one of these, you get, ooh, it's like an envelope and everything. Fancy. You got like a little sticker and everything. And it just tells you here, pretty straightforward. So the scratch board is covered in a fine velvety black film, pre-printed with a gray outline of your design. Use the included bamboo stylus to scratch away the gray lines. So we're going to open this up. Guess this will be my backing. And here it is. That looks more blue than gray. That's okay. Very pretty. And I got to open this up too. It's a little bit of packaging. This came, I'm not sure of what it came encased in, but there was foam board separating them, so there was care in the packaging. And the way these are, there was no bending, there was nothing happened. So, oh, you get a blank board back here, and then you get your actual picture. Ooh, so it doesn't feel quite like a velvet painting, but it's kind of like that. And then here's your blank scratch board, which I guess you could play around with if you wanted to. So I think we're going to start off with just the stylus that comes with it. And I don't know where to start. I guess we'll start at the top here. So let's go. Actually, here, let me do this. And this is probably gonna generate. So this is gonna generate probably, like when you scratch off cards, this is gonna generate probably a little bit of like junk stuff. So, all right. So basically, you're supposed to scratch the blue area. I'm assuming. And I'm not really seeing anything. What is that supposed to be? Well, it's supposed to be a color. This might be a major fail. Ah, there we go. There's some color. Alright, so like a scratch off, you are going to generate some crumbs. So you're going to have to flick at it some. So yeah, whoop. Don't scratch too much. You'll even scratch the color off. Looks like. Oops. That's okay. So, okay. So, scratch Craftology, Their main office is in Australia, but they ship and manufacture out of, I believe, Shenzhen, China. If that's right. And I ordered this on July 31st. That was when I received the confirmation email and everything. And I just received it today, which is August 17th. So I did have a bit of an issue. So they do give you a like tracking button and where you can track your order and stuff. And I was having trouble with that because it just seemed like it was staying in one place forever. And so I did email them, but they were really fast about getting back to me. So I points to them for that. Like, it was almost immediate. So they did show me where it was at, and then I just emailed them last week, and then it showed up today. So I don't know if that was just my particular order. I don't know if that was due to COVID or due to the tracking system itself. I don't know. So but yeah, they are a small team. I was a little hesitant. As you know, you get a lot of ads for stuff. I'm really bummed I did that. That was dumb. Anyway, how can y'all see this okay? Let me pause for a minute and take a quick look. Yeah. Okay. So y'all can see it pretty well. Alright. So I'm probably not quite getting it all. I'll have to go back and clean a little. Here, actually, let me see. There we go. Now y'all can see a little better. Trying to go through. I'll probably go inside and there'll just be a whole bunch of places I missed. Let's do this leaf. And see how this goes. Anyway, what I was saying was, you know, you see those ads online and you get kind of nervous about ordering from new small companies because, well, I mean, there's a lot of things out there that will take advantage of you and don't quite turn out like you expected. And generally these you can probably find something like this on Amazon. I don't think I've really looked. I thought I did at one point, but generally I stick with either Amazon or really well-known companies like Dover or Book Outlet. And so I took a chance on this. I would say it was a bit more low risk. But I really wanted to try it just to see how it would turn out. It is. They do have, like I said, some other little accessories and stuff on their site. They have like a little mini... It's like a little mini handheld vacuum that's supposed to help you vacuum up like all these little bits that are coming off this, which would be really handy. And I thought about ordering that too, but then I was kind of like, you know, let me make sure I get this order and everything's okay before I look to invest further. So I was like, let me just do that. So we're going to finish this leaf with this regular tool that came with it. And then we're going to open up the accessory kit and play with some of the other tools that I got. And the accessory kit was a little extra, but I'm telling y'all, they do offer a lot of discounts through their email. So that's also good. But for where this was coming from, I feel like I got it relatively quickly with everything going on. Heck, in some ways I got it faster than I did some stuff I order off Amazon lately, so points to them for that. So it may be because I'm going over them, but the little black detail lines in these are a little harder to see. Probably because I'm going over them when I shouldn't be. I'm trying not to, but on these really detailed areas, it's a little hard to not do that. So. Like I said, there are little bits I'm missing. I'm trying not to go over it too much, or else I'll do like I did up there and just scratch all the way to the board. Oopsie. Okay. So there is the flower and the leaf. Like I said, the leaf is a little muddy. The vein parts are, and again, it could be because I'm going over them, but it's really hard not to, though. I mean, we all know I'm pretty sloppy when I color and do other stuff, so maybe I just need to be a little more careful. The colors are nice. Let me turn this around. Colors are nice. Not popping quite as much as the finished picture, but I mean, they're nice. Sorry, I just wanted to try a few of these and try to be a little more careful. Yeah, so you have to be, like I said, I think you just have to be real careful around the black detail areas, or else it gets to looking kind of like that, where it's a little muddy. So that's probably my own fault. Alright, so let's try this accessory kit that we've got. Oh, maybe. Okay, so the accessory kit comes with the regular stylus. Looks like a little smaller scrapey tool that you could probably use sideways to cover a bigger area. It almost looks like one of those old school quill pens. That might give you a little more detail. This is a repair pen, which I don't know what that is. I have to look and see. Oh, so that might be for the areas that I scratched over. Okay, yep. Lord knows I'm gonna need that. And then a brush, which would be a really handy brush, not just for this, but for coloring as well. Alright, so let's use one of these. What's on this end? Ooh, an even finer point. Look at that. That's cool. Alright, so wow, that's weird. The van like pulled in beside me and then disappeared. It was really weird. Okay, so let's see what these little tools, if they're any more precise. Michelle shows the brush and then she never uses it again. So, story of my life. Yeah, it is a little frustrating around these detailed areas, trying not to hit the black lines. I Like right there, I just couldn't help it. It's so small. I probably could use my magnifying glass. Let's use this little bitty scratcher. Ooh, that's nice. I like that for the little smaller areas. There we go. Yeah, those real teeny tiny little black dots are right there. Yeah, no. That is not gonna work. I don't know about this part of the pen, but I do like the little sharp, real sharp end. Use the brush, Michelle. Use what you have. There we go. Or finish this leaf, and then we might move down to like the butterflies or something. I want something a little different color. Probably should work harder to get the hang of this before I do that. So yeah, some little detail areas, if you're like me and your eyesight's not all that great, you might need a magnifying glass. There we go. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it's getting there. Alright. So, I like that there's a cap on this one too, because this is like a stabby part right here. So, alright. Let me try this one. Actually, let's try that. Let's see what the repair pin's about. Oh, it has a really fine tip too on it. So, my assumption is where there were lines, you can put the lines back. Yeah. I mean, it's like just a marker, really. It's kind of what it looks like to me. Yes. Well, can't really see that one, can I? Yeah, I really botched that one up, didn't I? Yeah, basically it's like a marker. I mean, to be quite honest. It almost has a reddish finish to it too. I may not be using it right. Who knows? Alright, so let's move down to something else that has some different color to it. Sorry, heard something. Let's move down to the butterfly. Make sure you guys actually can see this. Where are we at? Sorry for the wobbly. There we go. Alright. So, let's try this little booger. I feel like this one's built for a wider area, so that's nice. Whoop. So you can kind of turn it on its side and get a little more area covered. I think this is probably going to be my favorite tool right here, because I can use the fine point, so I can get into the smaller spots, but it also lets me cover a wider area. Ooh, that's pretty. I don't know if y'all see that effect. Yeah, it's very similar to the butterfly underneath. Very cool. I'll probably come back and do those dots using the... So if leaving little bits and pieces behind is going to drive you crazy, this may not be the thing for you. It's not bugging me really, so not as much as I thought it would. I figured it would bother me more, but in retrospect, I probably should have just gotten the one picture, but that's okay. This gives me a chance to really try it out and show everybody what's what. So yeah, I'm probably going to need a magnifying glass for these smaller areas. Man, it is hot as blazes out here. I'm sure it's picking up the scratching sound too. I'm sure y'all are loving that. Reason number 3,000,000 not to do this on camera. These scratching sounds will drive everybody insane. Or at least do them as a voiceover, right? I'm really digging this butterfly here. Colors on this one seem to be a whole lot better, and it might just be the tool I'm using's a little, I don't know, but I am happier with the color on this one. It's a little more what I'm looking for. Alright, so I am going to continue doing this, but what I'm going to do is probably speed it up and do a voiceover or some music or something, and then at the end we're going to talk about this and talk about my final feelings about it and whatnot. So otherwise y'all are going to sit here and watch me scratch at this thing for a while. So I don't know if I'll do the whole picture, but I'm at least going to do quite a bit of it, so as much as I want, I guess. So anyway, talk to you again in a minute. Alright, so I tried to keep the audio as close as I could to what it was outside on my cell phone, just so you're not, you know, getting your eardrums blasted or constantly having to adjust the volume. I will say on the last portion of this where we do a little more scratching and then we I do final random thoughts and stuff, y'all know how I get, it's going to be louder. So I'm going to warn you before it happens that you might want to turn your volume down. I don't know. I might have to just go back to my regular mic. The headset's so much easier, but the variance in microphone volume between the different tools I use is just so massive, and it's when I'm trying to record pieces of video like this, it gets especially difficult. So, okay. So I sped up this portion. This is probably about roughly 20 minutes of speed scratching. I was contemplating what we call ourselves. You know, you have diamond painters, you have colorists. What do you call people that do scratch paintings? Scratch painters, I guess. If you call us scratchers, then that sounds like we have a serious health issue, and you definitely don't want to call yourself a scratch head, because then people are going to be concerned like you have lice or something. So, anyway, I started to scratch this portion of the picture, and it was just white. And you see, I switched to the other tool because I thought I was scratching off the actual color. And it turned out that the white was supposed to be there. It was a highlight. And when I looked at the other page, I'm like, oh, okay, that's supposed to be there. So, as you saw in the butterfly, I got a lot more color than we were getting at the top of the picture. This was the vibrancy I was looking for, and I was pretty excited about it. I was still pretty messy with this though, so the metal tool I was using that comes in the accessory kit, it was causing little gouges in the picture. You can see a few of them, like the few little bits of white. I don't think that was as much of the tool's fault in retrospect. I think it was just because I was putting too much pressure on the tools. I didn't realize that, and I'll come to this epiphany at the end portion of this video, but I come to the epiphany that I had the epiphany, excuse me. It's the end of the day. My words don't work so good right now. Brain don't work good either. I figured out I could put less pressure on this and still be able to scratch off the gray blue stuff. So yeah, if I hadn't been pushing those tools so hard, I probably wouldn't have had those issues. But I digress. I was getting so aggravated though that I just switched to the bamboo stylus tool that came with the picture. And I'll talk about it more a little bit later, but ultimately that was the one I was really enjoying working with. So yeah, the butterfly turns out a little messy, but overall I was okay with it. And oh my gosh, I will be so glad when they get done building that house across the street. They are wedging a house like right, so there's a house right across the street from me. They're somehow wedging a house practically in that other house's backyard, and I don't know how they got the permit. I didn't realize they could get the minimum lot size allotment for a building permit of a house, but they are putting it there. And I feel really bad for my neighbors across the street, because I mean, this is a rural area and we don't have too many places where the houses are, as my mother would say, within spitting distance of each other. That's not too common in this area, but there's nothing wrong with that if that's, if you're okay, if you're in an urban area, that's not unusual. But this one, it's like they turned the house at an angle, and so it's not parallel to the back of the other house. It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. So I feel kind of bad to whoever's going to buy that house, and to my neighbor that lives in that house right now. So yeah, anyway, it has just been, the past few mornings have had a lot less humidity, and so they've actually been pretty pleasant mornings, if it wasn't for just the constant banging and sawing and screaming and yelling, and just, I don't know what they're screaming and yelling over there. But oh, you see, I did figure out I could use the back part of this tool to cover the bigger areas too. I was quite pleased with myself in figuring that one out. So I feel like that seal that, claps for itself and then you throw it a fish or something. Like, it wouldn't be a fish though. It would probably be like a piece of chocolate or something. Like, I feel like somebody needs to throw me a treat for figuring out these little solutions. I don't know, I'm in a weird mood, y'all. I This video was recorded in so many different ways. Like, the previous portion was recorded Monday outside. The little bit you're gonna get here the very end part of the video was recorded before this. Now I'm doing the voiceover for the middle part. So, yeah, this what I do to bring new stuff for y'all. Oh, I don't even remember what I tried in this part of the video. That's terrible. I did try some of the other tools. That real tiny fine point that I'm using right there, I was also getting a little bit of scraping with that, but again, I think that was a pressure issue on my part. So, I'm not going to talk a whole ton about the picture itself, because you'll hear me talk about it at the end, what I figured out and stuff, so there's no sense in saying it again. But I am gonna say again, or at least for the first time when y'all hear this, the cat is coming out fabulous. I mean, the butterfly had some real pretty color to it, but that cat is just gorgeous. Like, it just almost like reminded me of flames when I first started doing this. Just the color, the vibrancy of the colors, the real bright colors in this picture are just gorgeous. And so I was very, very surprised by that. Anyway, so just a little blurb in the middle, I guess, about my life in general. Everything seems to be going okay. If you watched my video on Monday, you'll know why I put a question mark on that. I'm scared to say it, but they say knock on wood. Like, I don't know what else. Cross your fingers, toes, whatever. No, we just had a vet visit. This one was planned. Figura needed to go back. He takes thyroid medicine, and he also takes insulin for diabetes, which is no surprise because he's like the size of a small dump truck. I know, we are trying. I'm hoping now maybe I can work a little bit on that. The best news has been he hasn't gained any weight in the past year, so I think he's lost a little, but I know he hasn't gained, and so, hey, there's some good news right there. But Chonkers is, anyway, the good news too is his insulin's been going down in dosage. Actually, I was really hoping today maybe we could get rid of it completely, but no, she said his blood sugar was absolutely on point, and he's only getting 2 units, which is like a teensy amount twice a day. And she said his blood sugar's just spot on. So if he does lose weight, there's a very good chance that he could go off it completely. I mean, it's any of you that do insulin and stuff like that, you probably know what 2 units is, but I mean, I'm talking, it's not even, it's such a minuscule amount. His bottle of insulin's gonna last forever, and that's good, because there's a lot of cat medicine in this house, and the cat medicine ain't cheap. So, aren't those eyes gorgeous? Oh my gosh, the eyes were so pretty. I felt so much better once I started on this cat. Like, I was still kind of iffy about this. Definitely having issues with the fine lines of black, but man, when I hit this cat, I was like, oh, this cat is gorgeous. This is pretty. I can do this, and I really started enjoying it, I think, at this point. So I started hitting my groove. But anyway, Bagheera had to get his thyroid checked and his blood sugar. As I said, his blood sugar was perfect, so he is on almost no insulin at this point, but close enough for us. That's good news. His thyroid is actually, the number was a little on the low side, so we're gonna back off, split one of his tablets in half. He gets 2 tablets. He gets 1 tablet twice a day, and now he's going to get a half tablet in the evenings instead of a whole one. So we are good to go there. He shouldn't have to go back, hopefully, until his vaccination appointment and stuff, which I think is probably in October or November. And then Reepicheep. Oh, so Reepicheep has chronic sinus issues, allergies, sinus issues. Sorry for the wobbliness here. He, over the years, has had pretty chronic, like, seasonal upper respiratory infections and, like, bacterial infections in his ear, maybe once a year, twice a year, but then starting last November, December, it's like he's had one that just won't go away, and every couple months I take him back and he's still got it, and we treat it, and then he's fine for about a month or two, and then he has to go back. So he was going for his vaccinations and stuff today because we hadn't had a chance to do them yet. And sure enough, he still had a bacterial infection in his ear. He's still having sinus issues. He does take an allergy pill, but it's just not doing enough at this point. So we devised a treatment plan, and so let's see, for a week I have to do this ear cleaning solution in both his ears, every day, twice a day. Have to put like 5 drops in his ear and then massage it around, and I probably will end up wearing more of the solution than he'll have in his ears, but it is what it is. So that's twice a day. Then for 2 weeks he's getting Baytril drops. No, excuse me, the ear cleaning is once a day. The Baytril in his ear is 5 drops, and that's once a day, and they're on opposite ends of the day. So ear cleaning in the morning, Baytril at night, or whatever, what have you. The Baytril's for 2 weeks. Then we are doing Serenia, which sounds probably familiar. I've mentioned it before. It's usually used as an anti-nausea medication, but there are some studies that show that it, used as a nose drop, it can actually help clear up allergy or sinus issues, and allow the cat to breathe better. And so we're going to try that. A drop in his nose, each of his nostrils. They say twice a day. They probably said twice a day. It's in there on the bottle. So we got to do that. And we're upping his allergy tablet, which is clofenephrine, to a half tablet twice a day instead of once a day like he's getting right now. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to do that. We're going to go up to a whole tablet twice a day, because he can go up to a whole tablet. It's like 4 milligrams is a whole tablet. If all this doesn't work, then we're going to try some sort of antibiotic that he has to take every other day for like 3 months. So I'm thankful there are options. I don't want him to be miserable all the time. I don't want his ear. I know his ear is bugging him. I also don't want to have to go through the expense of taking him to the vet every 2 months for these various treatments. And we want to nip all this in the bud, because his ear issues and his sinus issues, it's all interconnected. So we're hoping all this will finally get it, and we'll be good to go. So it's a lot, and he got some of it when he got home, the ear cleaning and the Serenia, and the boy was not pleased. He is not going to be my biggest fan, but I'm going to set up a schedule on my phone so I don't forget. And, hey, it's not all forever. We'll get through it, and hopefully this will be enough to take care of his issues. He's not, like I said, he's not acting sick. He acts like he feels fine for the most part, but I know the the, the snotty allergy feeling can't be good, and having constant fluid and infection in your ear, I'm sure, is not a pleasant feeling either. So, but again, something we can treat, something we can try. Overall, I will take this vet visit gladly. This is a good vet visit to me right now. So, as y'all can see, those little black fine lines just are not happening for me. I'm gonna have to go a lot slower and have a lot more precision in order to do that, and even then I think I'm gonna struggle with them. So like the ones that were in the middle of those leaves, they're just pretty much obliterated. So yeah, I did struggle a lot with the fine lines on this, and I will probably continue to, but oh well. But that flower was coming out really pretty too. Like I said, the color on this is gorgeous. Like the fence almost has kind of like a bronzy kind of satiny feel look to it, and then you've got the bright highlights on the flowers. The leaves feel a little murky to me, but that is mostly just because I'm having a lot of trouble with like the fine lines and the veins on them. So they get kind of muddled because they don't have those lines of definition and stuff. So I think that's partially or a lot my fault. Okay, so we are about to bounce to the last bit. You might want to turn your volume down. So I guess we're gonna pick back up and go with our final thoughts and everything else with this. This video is all over the place. So we're back to non-voiceover portion, where we're gonna take a look at this, and I'm gonna kind of give you my final thoughts on it. As you can see, past the point of the voiceover ending, I did work on it a little bit. This is Tuesday now that I'm talking, but I did do a little more. I basically started working up here at the top and am just going to work my way across. I was also pleasantly surprised, as you can see, that I am able to get this in full view at my desk when I didn't think I could. But I just wanted to like show you in real time, like, I guess the cat part of this, because I feel like after messing with it for a few days, I've gotten a little more used to it, I guess. And so I'm gonna, I guess, continue to scratch while I talk final thoughts on this, and we're gonna focus in on the cat. I just got back from the vet's office, which you've already heard all about, I'm sure. Like I said, this video is being recorded in so many pieces. Alright, so one thing, and like I said, I probably won't do this very often at the desk until I can figure out a way to easily clean up the scrapings. So one thing I've learned is that I really like the tool that just comes with the picture. I like this little tool right here. The accessory pack, while eventually I will probably try it again and have a little more success with it, the only thing I'm really using out of it, as I've been working on this, has been the brush. I already can tell one issue I have here is I don't have if I put a bright light on the picture, it's so shiny, it reflects really badly, but I kind of need the light to see because I'm blind. I also so I really like the tool that comes with the pictures. So unless you get, I guess, really into this, or feel like, I guess, you get a picture with a whole lot of really intricate little spaces, I don't think you need the accessory pack. especially when you're first starting out. I don't think you're going to need it. I like this tool just fine. When I have the bigger areas, I can either use the little scraper, or I can use the opposite side, the flat edge, and just scrape the big areas. So I mean, I don't think the accessory pack's really necessary. The brush that comes with it, this little thing, I mean, this is a makeup brush. You could pick up. Honestly, I'd rather have a bigger brush than what I have. So so another thing I learned is that I was putting too much pressure on this. I guess I was looking at it like a coin scratch off, where I just really had to just, you know, just really get at it. You like my sound effects? Oh gosh. And as you can see here, I'll talk about that in a minute. It's not super gentle pressure, but it's a whole lot less pressure than you probably think. And that has helped some with some of the detail areas. And being able to be a little more careful because I'm not digging in so much. So yeah, the stylus tool, working in these little more gentle pressure. I have also learned to work in small batches. So basically I go over these areas, I'll do a little bit, I'll brush it, and then I'll go back and clean up. This has helped me a little bit in terms of the detail areas. Now, in saying all that, you see where I really tried to, it's just all one color now. So even with some of this I've picked up, and I feel like I've become more used to this tool, and I feel like I can tackle some of the smaller areas a little better. I am still having trouble with any super detailed lines. So like this little thin line here is not going to survive. And if it does, I'm going to need a lot of light, and I'm going to have to work very slowly. The big thicker areas are a little easier to navigate, but these really thin little lines here, they just come off so easily. And that little tiny needle-like tool in the accessory kit probably would help here. But I'll be honest, I don't really have the patience for it. So, the colors are beautiful. I know at first, like, when I first started there at the top, I thought it had a little bit more of a dull color to it. But I think that's just how the picture is in that particular area. Because as you guys can see, there is some highlighted areas and then darker areas. So I think that was just how it was starting out, and I'm glad I tried other sections, because this cat is just gorgeous. Those eyes, like, oh my gosh, so pretty. So the color is actually pretty legit, and I will certainly give them that. Oh my gosh, it's driving me crazy. I was doing so well, and now like all these itty bitty areas. I have determined to myself that I am inevitably going to scratch off a lot of the finer detail lines. It's just, boy, I started to use that repair pen. Where is, there it is. Oh yeah, the repair pen drives me crazy. I'm sorry, the light is terrible in here because I can't use, let's just leave it like that. So that repair pen is basically, it looks just like either a water-based or alcohol marker. It is, it's not in English, so I'm not sure what it says. But I did not like how it looks. Again, I have not used it much. So I think on these finer areas I'm going to just have to tackle them with like really strong light and a magnifying glass, and possibly that little smaller tool. So that accessory kit may have a use yet. But anyway, so the more it's grown on me, the more I've been doing it, the more I enjoy it. I just like with everything else I do, like when I color with colored pencils and stuff, I just mostly have to make myself slow down a little bit and just enjoy the process. So this picture was more of a trial, I guess. All my real big mistakes are going to come through on this one. But overall, I like it. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll move on to final thoughts, and I'll just keep scratching while we talk about this. So I feel like I got what I ordered, for sure. The pictures, the color is really vibrant on the pictures. The pictures themselves come with what you need to get started. Like, I don't feel like you really necessarily need all the fancy, like the accessory tools and stuff. If you do get pictures with a lot of fine little black lines like this, I would recommend it, just because this is not sharp enough. Though I guess theoretically you could take one of these and maybe cut it down and sharpen it a little bit more. But like I said, I was honestly pleasantly surprised by the color. I mean, I figured it would be vibrant, but it really does, like, I wouldn't say it looks exactly like this, because this is obviously a, polished, finished product, but the vibrancy I'm seeing here is a lot more than what I assumed it would be. So points for that. It might be a little frustrating to begin with, especially as you're doing this and like you go over the little fine black lines and you actually scrape them off and you just get really irritated at yourself about it. I don't know if it'll be soothing to begin with, but as you continue on, I could see where this would be relaxing. So I think you get what's advertised here. So I'm pleased with the product in that sense. Now, in the realism, I guess, of actually doing this, because I haven't done any type of scratch off, crafting, coloring, whatever you want to call this, I've not done any of this before. I hadn't really seen anything out there like this before. Like I said, this takes a little bit of I think a slow hand and a slow and careful, methodical kind of approach. What I wish they had, and I don't think they do, but I could be wrong, so definitely go check out on their site. But what I wish they had were smaller versions of this. So instead of this long big picture, I wish they had smaller versions, like even just, I would say a postcard, but the problem is the more you shrink a picture like this, like the more details, little detail areas you're going to have, and so it might actually make it harder to use a smaller picture. But like if you had a smaller, simpler picture that wasn't as complex, that you could just kind of practice with, like a little practice card or something that came with these, would be super helpful. So it does come with a blank black kind of canvas that I have not looked at yet. I'm not sure if that's just for, if you want to draw yourself or what you want to do with that, but it would be helpful to have something like that, but have like I don't know, simple shapes, a simple picture, anything. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but it's something you could kind of practice with some detail areas just to get you used to this before you got started. That would be nice. And like I said, it doesn't have to be this size. It could be a smaller little postcard size or something. I think that would be neat. Unless you are just super, like, really close to detail, able to get every little bit of the blue scratchy stuff up, you may have a little bit of it left behind around these lines. I just can't get in some places without sacrificing the lines. So some places I just leave it. I might go back over it in the future and try to use that fine tool to get the little bits and pieces. But if that's going to drive you nuts, then this may not be the craft for you. If you can get these on a deal, like a lot of times, especially if you sign up for their email list, you'll get a lot of emails. A lot of times they'll run like a 2-for-1 deal, or they'll offer free shipping or something like that, which is why I have 3 of them instead of just 1. I think that's a good deal, and I will probably keep my eye on that in the future, but I'm planning to have these 3 take me a while, so it may not be like anytime soon. I don't see myself, I could easily purchase a stack of these like I do. Like I said, why buy one when you can buy many is the slogan for any crafter or artist out there. I could easily hoard these like I do my other like my coloring books and everything else, but I just simply don't have the room for them. And they're not super cheap either, so if you are okay with having to, like I said, these aren't like super big areas. Some of their pictures might be a little less detailed, I don't know. They have all kinds of different subjects and stuff, so you can go check them out. But if having to do this little detail work in these small areas is not really your thing, like if in coloring you're not big on detail areas, then this may not be the thing for you. But if you don't mind that and you want to try something that requires even less effort than this, I don't mean it to sound bad, but it's something that requires even less effort than like a color by number. I mean, because the color's already here, you just have to scratch off the stuff above it to get the colors. So this is even more straightforward if you just want to, you want to do something. The pressure I put on this is probably about the amount of pressure I should put on a colored pencil when I'm coloring. The amount of proper layering pressure, if you want an idea for how hard I'm pressing if you color. See, I just destroyed that little black part. Oh well. But if this seems like something you'd be interested in, I would say go take a look at their site. Maybe grab one picture. It may take a few weeks to get to you, but honestly the shipping time was not as bad as I thought it would be, though I wish their tracker was a little better, a little more explanatory about what's going on with it. I would say pick up one and try it. If you're just trying it out, I think the little stylus that comes with it would be fine. There's probably some sort of tool out there if you feel like you really need like this really sharp nib here. I'm sure there's, like the end of a knitting needle or the end of a really thick sewing needle or something would probably suffice as well. I mean, I'm not trying to say don't buy their accessory kit, but I was buying it mostly just because I knew I was trying all this out and I wanted to share this with everybody. But if you're just starting it out and you're not even sure you're going to like it, I wouldn't worry about the accessory kit right now. Now, one thing I think I am going to get, so I can actually do this inside, is they have this little handheld, it's supposed to be like a little handheld vacuum, because I don't know if it's going to pick it up or not. You see that? Yeah, it gets everywhere. It is definitely messy, which is not a knock on the product, because you kind of expect that, right? Like, I mean, again, you get crumbs and mess off scratch off tickets. Of course you get something like that off of this, right? So not a knock on the product. That was obviously within reasonable expectation, but they do sell, like, I don't know if there's anything like that available. I'm sure there is somewhere out there in the universe, but I'm thinking about getting the little handheld vacuum cleaner, so I can, it's like a little vacuum thing, so I can do this at my desk and in the house without worrying about, you know, getting little crumbs on the cats, on me, on I have a feeling this stuff would be like glitter and it would just get on everything and we'd just find it for days. So I will probably look at that, and if I do get it, I can do a separate review for that. So anyway, what do you guys think? I know it's not coloring. I know it's something a little different, but I wanted to try something different. And am I going to do a lot of scratch and chat, I guess? That's kind of catchy. Am I going to do a lot of scratch and chat pictures in the future? Probably not. This to me, especially around the detail areas, requires a little more focus than I feel like I can give while I'm talking. So unless I do like a voiceover, and I don't know, I might do one every now and then if people want to see it. But it's not gonna, I mean, when I renamed the channel, I said I was gonna do some different videos on here, but it was gonna be like, all, you know, usually off days, and it's not gonna be very often, but who knows, I might. I got 30 of these, and like I said, I think they'll do me for a while, since I'm just gonna try to do a little bit at a time, and I would like to be able to put these up. I will share the finished version of it once I get done. I might throw that in with my completed pages at the end of the month. I'm being optimistic here, saying it's going to be the end of the month, because we don't know. But if you get aggravated because you are going over some of the lines and it's just not looking as clean as it should to you, keep in mind, like, you know, I guess if you hang it on a wall or something, you're looking at it from a distance, and it's kind of like some of the coloring pictures I do. They look a lot better either on camera or at a distance than they do like right up close. So, and like I said, I want to get a bigger, puffier type of makeup brush for this. So, but like I said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. You've actually seen me do a fair amount through here, so I think the cat's gorgeous. I dread all this little work through here. This little dude's gonna take a while. So, but like this morning, I was like, oh, I'll do this for about half an hour outside, and it turned out to be like a whole hour. I got kind of into it, and so, you know, I think I got a winner here. I'm pretty pleased with it now that I've had a chance to kind of work at it and get a little practice with it, and learn what I do and do not like. Oh, I also do not like that repair pen. This thing, like I said, it's just some sort of marker, and I know I probably didn't use it right, but I hate the way it looks. I would rather just have left it entirely blank. Hi, y'all got to see my tank top. Actually, here, There we go. Haha. So yeah, that's what we've got. And I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to put the site, I'll put down what the actual size of the picture is in the description. Like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this, seeing something a little new, a little different. I like it. I think overall it is pretty cool, and it's just something different. Again, you know, you have diamond painting out there, you got coloring, you got art journaling and stuff, and this is just kind of something else. So I mean, it doesn't really require a whole heckin' ton of creativity, but for a lot of us that are trying to cope with anxiety or depression or any other types of issues, or you just need something calm to focus on, like, and doesn't require a whole lot of thought, I think this is another good option for those of us out there that need it. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'm hoping Thursday I'll be able to do the Christmas Cats flip through if I can actually get the book that day. So I don't know why it's taking so long, but and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, thanks, and talk to you soon. Bye for now.